I feel like that with all we've gone through this year, with our biggest competitor being COVID still, we are able to move forward. We were able to adapt on the fly, whether an athlete was sick, whether someone was injured. We were in this gym the morning of districts putting a girl in a stunt group that never did that before. And this team came together and was able to hit all of their stunts, hit their routine, and bring home that gold. So for the year 2021 to forever hang in the gym of Hazleton Area High School, it is a complete honor because of what I have seen these girls and these athletes have to go through this year.
Kate Marhelko has a degree in textile surface design from the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City. She's designed merchandise for Disney, Nickelodeon, the NFL, and Major League Baseball. If you've ever seen a quarterback dig into his officially licensed hand warmer during a huddle, you've seen some of Marhelko's work. Faced with the high price of living in Manhattan, she decided to move back to the Hazleton area. She adapted, becoming a substitute teacher, then an art teacher, and head coach for the Hazleton Area High School cheerleading program, including the varsity competition team.
We get scored on everything these girls do in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They have to land everything at the right time. They have to make sure that their jumps hit at the right time. They have to make sure their movements hit at the right time, their stunts are hitting on the right count, that they are spinning in the air at the right time. And I feel like with my art background, I have a different eye for detail. I definitely am very creative, obviously. It's in my blood, but I do pay that extra attention to those details, and I can see things that other people don't see because of the way my eye was trained to be an artist. So having that and then clashing that with cheerleading definitely has helped me a lot.
Not too long ago, Marhelko was a cheerleader for the Hazleton Area High School. Now in her 20s, she's fully committed to helping another generation feel the same rush and the same joy she felt during her time on the team.
I have now taken that role as a coach and made this program my life. I go to teach in the morning, I come home, grab whatever I need to grab, and I'm out the door. I am in this gym from 4 to 8. I am traveling all across the state with these girls on weekends. I am bringing choreographers in on Sundays for 6-8 hours to spend with them in this gym to make sure everything's perfect, to make sure we get all the points on our score sheets that we can. And I feel like being a young coach, now is my time to do that and to make cheerleading my life and to be able to invest into this program and make it exactly what we need to do. So I'm using that to my advantage in order to have the success moving forward.
After a year of virtual competitions, the Hazleton Area varsity competition team, with only 2 seniors, took to the mat in front of a live audience and judges in the late fall of 2021.
It was scary. Because we have like a really young team, so like nobody really did it, like nobody ever competed before. So it was exciting to see everybody like go on the mat for the first time, and you know, it was a good experience for everybody.
What needed to be worked on? What do you think from then to when you guys went to districts, I guess?
Probably mostly our stunting. All of our tumbling is really strong, so I think that is what probably, you know, brought us out more. Like, whereas our stunts they're not as great, but like we worked on them and they got better.
Going through the pandemic and COVID last year, how tough was it not having a live competition really?
Oh, it definitely did make a difference. Like I said, we get so much adrenaline from the crowd being there, and when they help cheer with you, it kind of just eases your nerves a little bit more. So like not having the audience there, it was a little bit harder.
Right before the 2021 PIAA District 2 Championships, the team had to adapt once again.
When I got the message that a couple, days before that we had an athlete sick, I kept my calm as a coach because I didn't want to worry anybody, and I came up with a plan. And we came in that morning and I was very confident in what they were able to do. And with that plan, they executed it right here that morning in the gym, and I was like, all right, we got this.
The team turned to freshman Kelly Smith to fill in at secondary base, helping hold up other athletes during the routine.
So we have this band app where she communicates with us, and at night I saw Kelly's gonna be under Cass. So
you see that, and how did you feel then? Were you like, oh, I can't wait, or were you like, oh boy, this is a lot, or both?
I was scared because it was districts, but I filled in for groups before. It was just the first time under that flyer. So like I was scared.
How much did you feel supported? Like, hey, everyone has my back. Did you feel like that?
Yes. Yeah, we're all really close, and like they would just cheer me on. They would give me like motivation.
Eventually, it was time for Smith and the rest of the team to step onto the mat at districts.
During the routine, you could only tell what you're doing. So after the mat, when we're all done, we all get off the mat and you kind of look at everybody's faces, and if they're happy, you know you hit, and if they're not.
And in first place, receiving gold medals, Hazleton.
When they took the floor, they had a flawless routine. I was screaming. I always scream for them and cheer with them. And I was screaming as loud as I could. And when they walked off the mat, they looked at us, coaches, and they just all had smiles on their faces. And I asked them what they were feeling, and they said, we felt like, oh yeah, we just went out there and we just did that. And it was the best feeling for them to walk off that floor without even having a medal on our necks yet, just knowing that they did absolutely everything that they were able to do. So I felt the same. I felt happy no matter what the results were. I will be honest, I was shocked when they called our names as district champions, because I know how hard other teams also work too, but our girls definitely had that energy and they had that it factor, which is something that the judges were looking for.
The team has adapted to being champions quite well.
I would say too, with the girls having to adapt from virtual learning back to in-person learning, and myself as well as a teacher having to go from the transition of virtual learning to back to in-person learning to everything back to being in person again, that these kids are very adaptable, and I think that is probably one of the biggest takeaways that they got this year and throughout all of COVID, was being able to adapt on the fly. Because that's what they had to do to win this district championship. That's what they had to do all season. And I think that's something to be said with these kids and with these athletes and the generation that is coming up.
For SSPTV Sports, I'm Ken Cara. Sports on SSPTV News is brought to you in part by the Lehigh Valley Health Network and MMI Preparatory School. Come see what they have to offer during their exploration days. You can also schedule a visit with their admissions director. Call 570-636-1108, extension 136, or email admissions@mmiprep.org.